Alright, so last episode we tested the classic blender, but while we're on the topic of ally attack compositions, I want to take this a step further. What if we build around insane A1s? Ally attack becomes completely different when your champions have really hard hitting A1s, AoE A1s, or utility A1s that completely swing fights, right? So today we're experimenting with champion whose A1s are so strong they feel like actual A2s or A3 abilities. First up, we have the Cheshire cat, right? In my opinion, one of the best A1s in the game. The first hit, he will put perfect veil on himself, and then every hit after that is AOE hit, right? And this cat hits really hard. His A1 is honestly as strong, if not stronger, than most champions' actual AOE abilities, right? Now, imagine that being triggered multiple times through an ally attack. That's where things get a little bit crazy, right? Um, Now, for epics, there is a sleeper monster, and that is Fenax. He's got a 4.1 multiplier on the A1, and it can hit twice. That's legitimately legendary level damage, right? On an A1. And if that A1 kills, it block revives, right? In live arena, that's almost instant GG. So with ally attack triggering multiple A1s, like Fenax becomes like an execution machine. So the idea for today is very simple. We're gonna ally attack with insane A1 synergy champions, and let's just roll the clip. Right, take a look at what we got here. So in this fight, we've got just a typical speed team versus our ally attack team, and our ally attack team has got these. Yeah, we've got the Queen of Hearts, we've got the Podrick, and then of course we threw in the Bambate, right, which is the Fabian there. So, um, and then we have the Cheshire Cat and the Fenax. Uh, they banned the Cheshire Cat, so we've got all the pieces, including Fenax. Um, so over here, we just get into this fight. Uh, just take a quick look here. We even go first. That's 15 speed on the 6-star blessing is really paying dividends, making us go first, right? Of course, they're going to polymorph, going to ally attack. Now, they do have block debuffs, but I think regardless, this will hit hard enough. 130k. It block revive the Embrace right there. Um, the Marius does a A1, not enough, right? Not enough to kill us, and our Fenax still under Stone Skin. So over here, we're gonna get another sleep while on the submission. Um, I could go for the A1, but because the CV is locked out, she doesn't have revive. I go for the A3, which does just a little bit more damage than the A1. If it's a single hit. If it's a double hit A1, A1 does more damage, right? And then let's just speed that up because I think at this point, this player is not going to come back. Most of his champions are block revived. Um, and over here, we just smack them, right? With a block revive. So yeah, like the build is very simple. The first up is the Cheshire Cat. It's 9-piece merciless. You got increased attack, you got crit, you got speed, ignore defense, right? Extra turn, everything you want on an attack-based nuker. Mm. In terms of stats, you want as much attack as possible, high amount of speed, crit capped, as much crit rate as crit damage as possible, and then the rest of the stats don't really matter, right? In terms of the relic, I went with the Gore Crescent just because if the cat kills someone with the A3, he can get an extra turn and then he can immediately A1, and that synergizes well with the Gore Crescent, right? If you kill someone. So yeah, Over here, he puts the perfect will on himself, and then you can do the A3 into A1 combo. I was using the cat on like Hydra, so I have cruelty. I think cruelty is okay for arena as well, and he's got a speed aura, which is great. In terms of the masteries, very standard, right? Offense, defense, tree, take helm smasher, and you're golden. Next up is Fenax. Fenax, you got the very standard nuclear build, Stone Skin and Lethal, just to give him survivability and ignore defense. He wants as much attack as possible, a good amount of speed, a crit capped, as much crit damage as you can throw on there, right? And then if you can, also build a little bit of accuracy on Fenax because you want to be able to use some of his skills. Now, this is the relic. There are not a lot of relics that can put a debuff out there. And this one, Hammer of Ending, this is the secret tech for Fenax, right? Fenax, a lot of times, if you don't have setup, your A1 is just going to be a single hit. However, if you can hit someone with this relic, Hammer of Ending, you can actually do enough damage with the first hit that it triggers the relic, which puts a stun on them, and that stun count as a debuff, right? And then the game will register that as the A1 condition, and his A1 will actually hit twice. So this, if you don't have consistent setup for Fenax to be able to get a debuff on the enemy champion, you can consider putting Hammer of Ending on Fenax. He will be able to put the do the A1 the first hit, put a stun on him, and then do another hit of the A1. So it most likely will block revive, right? So this relic is great on Fenax. Another one is just put a cascade on him, just give him more damage. And this is the bread and butter of Fenax, just the A1 block revive. And I do have a 6-star cruelty. Um, Cruelty is great because at 6 stars you can decrease the champion's defense by up to 40%. And every time you ally attack, if you're hitting twice, that's like 8%, right? Um, it adds up really quickly. Uh, in terms of masteries, very standard. Helm Smasher, you want to take the defense to counterattack ones because this A1 is so effective that you want to be able to use that as much as possible. So that's it for the builds. Let's get into today's fights. Um, Over here, we have a parry, and what have I said about parry? Like, always ban the support, right? Just close your eyes, ban the support. So Noel Cernic, just ban Noel. If it's Taurus Marishka, just ban Marishka. Helvi Torment, just ban Helvi, right? It's very simple. If you ban the support of the duel, they're gonna have a bad time. Over here, I think I try for a strip. This one is risky. I should have saved the strip and just went for the ally attack for when the Cernic is going to put the unkillable on himself, and then I do the strip, right? But I went a little impatient, try to strip when they have like these lightning cages is very hard, right? High blessing lightning cages could be up to 75%. Um, Here, if I A1, see block revive on the Empress. The Empress cannot put his revive on death on himself. Now, if I didn't have the stone skin, the damage reflect back to me could kill me. And that means the Empress will be able to put the revive on death on himself, and the block revive doesn't go through. So if you're gonna go for a block revive on Empress, make sure that the reflect doesn't kill yourself, or else the Empress will come back and you will die. So yeah, very important. Over here, just Cernic left. I don't think this player has much. Yeah, they leave, right? So that's it for that match. Over here, very standard speed team. 2 boosters, 1 lockout, and 2 damage dealers. Ezio, uh, Auditory has the bombs that could hit Stone Skin, so very scary. Um, but you know, and it's a very fast one. So he did put the bombs, but there's a two turns. So I have another shot here. So I go for the turn meter steal, and it does the triple nuke. Yeah, Marius, if you can, strip the stone skin, there's not much counterplay we can do about that, right? Over here, it looks like another sort of speed. You got the lockout Armons and then Embrace Marius, right? Pretty standard, and we got our Fabian band as expected. So we're going in with our ideal team composition here. We start with the ally attack. That CV has I don't see it as often. The four piece, what you might call it, that gives 50% unkillable. Um, yeah, you don't see that one often. Over here, we're almost breaking their stone skin with the with just the cat and the ally attacks, and that's very important. You have to recognize that Fenax has a skill that puts block buffs debuff, and block buffs debuff is so important versus things like Marius and things like Embrace. Now, over there, you saw that both the Marius and the Embrace still had Stone Skin, but it was a sliver of Stone Skin. So when you have a skill that can put debuffs at the same time, a lot of times the skills, what the game register is, you will do the damage first, and after the damage, if you can break the stone skin, then your debuff will actually go on these champions, right? Like was shown here, because our damage was high enough, it broke the stone skin. It was just a sliver left, and then the block debuff goes on. And block debuff is super important versus Empress, because he can put block revive on death on himself, and Marius because he can put increased defense on himself, right? Um, so over here we just ally attack. I hit the tankier target with the ally attack because my cat, Cheshire cat, is under veil, so it will do the AoE A1. And of the two, Marius is just slightly less HP. It's definitely less HP than Embrace, right? So we hit the Embrace, and then the splash will kill the Marius. So that is that one. Over here, interesting team. It took my Cheshire Cat, which another shout out to a good champion with the A1 is Marius the Horse, right? His A1 is just as good. Maybe does a little bit less damage, but it's got a chance to do enfeeble. Over here, his nuker, his only nuker, is not in Stone Skin. With ally attack that nuker, block revive 200k damage with Fenax. That would have been two hits, right? It would have been 440k damage with Fenax. So it does a lot. And at this point, the game is over. Like in live arena, if your only nuker gets block revive, because I banked the other nuker, um, it's pretty much game over. Like there's very little chance, unless that Freya is built with high damage, which I doubt. Um, I don't think they're gonna have enough to be able to kill us, right? Uh, Over here, I tried to that. No, it's very tanky for some reason, but yeah. So that's that fight. Over here against a team like this, I am fairly certain we don't have a chance of beating them, just because their passives are so annoying. Not because like they're like it's just the passive, right? They're giving them multiple lives. They're keeping them alive, and they're doing poison strip and stone skin, and yeah. Let's just see how many. Like usually a Galathier, you cannot kill a Galathier 100 to 0, but because we have the two ally attack champions and the two champions really good with A1, and we're putting decreased defense, and our Fenax is doing double hit, Even though this Galathier has the Tower Helm, the mythical relic that gives Fortify at the beginning, he's normally super tanky, right? He's even got shield, but and the passive. Not enough, right? Not enough because look at the Fenax hits, 85, 90, 98k, it one shot the Galathier. He just died. Over here, if the True Fear procced, I think we have a good chance of winning this match. But the True Fear didn't proc. He won the 50-50. And also he won the 50-50 here with the strip on the Stone Skin. So it's kind of over, right? We just um, lose two 50-50s in a row. And then I think this champion, Geralt, can put like an unkillable on himself. And there is even protected. There's nothing we can do against that. So let's just skip ahead here because oh, and we do another ally attack and we kill the Theo 146k times two. Like it did fairly well. Like we blocked revive two of the tankiest, hardest to kill mythicals, right? Uh, but you know we lost too many 50-50s, so we do lose this fight. The next one, again, against Mythicals, we learn our lesson. We ban the Theo, right? And we're just against a whole bunch of damage dealers, which we're not too concerned about. Over here, we're just ally attacking. Um, Look at that splash damage from the cat, 245k on the A1 splash damage. Like it's so good. We even break the stone skin. Over here, because Leo, if he drops below 50% HP, he can put the stone skin on himself. Very important to try to go for block buffs because the stone skin can't override the block buffs. It can override a lot of debuffs and cleanses itself like completely. But the stone skin against block buffs, it won't apply, right? So if you have a champion with block buffs, try to use that skill against the self-apply stone skin. Over there, we did enough damage anyways and one shot the Leo. Um, yeah, this looks like a very fast 6-star intimidating presence arbiter, uh, and we ban the arbiter, right? Um, and hopefully we're faster. So that's the game plan here. Let's get into this fight. But he's got like almost four nukers. If they're all in stone skin, which they are, it's gonna be tough. So over here we try to break the stone skin. We do break it, but the passive of this champion froze our Cheshire cat, which is really unfortunate because you know at this point that's a mistake. You don't do Marius A3 if Queen of Hearts is on the other team because Queen of Hearts can cut in and just completely ruin Marius' day, right? Over here we block revive the Marius. Um, so mistake on his end. Here again is a strip and he stole the like remove the stone skin, right? 50-50. So pretty unlucky there. And with that dead, there's not too much we can do. Um, I don't think 8-3, yeah, doesn't break the stone skin. Over here, he has to get rid of both of these targets in order for him to target the Cheshire cat. So he takes the safe route, goes for the A1 extra turn, which both of those champions have the decreased defense. Um, Now that he can target the perfect veil cat, and he has a steal, like a buff steal, right? Um, so we lose that match. Rematch. Yeah, we weren't at our full power over there. We bring in like a counter to his team because it's a speed team. We bring in the Calvalax, and we still do the ally attack with the Cheshire cat, right? At this point, the opponent is forced because I know he has running speed team. He has to ban Calvalax, so um, we get the champions that we want, right? Arbiter is gonna boost, which is completely fine. Um, his strip gets met with the one of the two polymorphs. So at this point, there's very little that you can do. Um, you could try to do the block active, block passive skill. Doesn't go for it, goes for the AoE. I do not agree with that. I would have done the block active, block passive, and the turn meter steal on Patrick. I think that would have been a better choice. 300k A1, like A3 into A1 is so good, right? It's so good. Uh, Over here, yeah, against things like Galathier, it is tough. It's tough to beat, right? And he bans one of our ally attackers, the faster one. Let's see if that's a good choice or not. So against this team, Galathier is gonna be the tough one to beat. Now, Rotos usually very hard to kill, right? But because we have the ally attack, we can actually go for the Rotos and try to block revive it, which we do. So one of the nuker is gone. Over here, because they put up so many buffs, I think that gave us a chance, right? To cut it with the Queen of Hearts. We got an extra turn, and we were able to strip. But they have a wand of submission on Empress. He didn't get feared. He's gonna transform, and he's gonna try to um, swap HP because like every time he does a transform or HP swap, it counts as a turn, and he wants to get rid of that death brand on himself that you see there on Empress, so I can't block revive him. Very smart. Take extra turns and then do the nuke, right? Over here, I think I played it a little bit fast. Um, Usually you want to do A3 into A1 combo, but one of the things with the Cheshire Cat and any champion that has the like ability to save themselves from death, talking about Siegfried, right? Um, if you still have that like passive available, do not try to hit a champion that has like reflect damage. What's going to happen is it will bypass your passive. You won't put the block damage on yourself, and you just die, right? So here I definitely went too fast. I should have maybe targeted the Galathier or someone else instead of going for the A3 A1 combo, because when I do the A3, I will kill the Empress, but reflect will kill myself, and that's bad because you know, my Fenax still has Stone Skin. I could have just A1 Embrace with Fenax um, and kept my cat alive. So that's a misplay. See, like there, I kill the Embrace, the Reflect goes into the Stone Skin. It doesn't kill, right? But now I don't have a cat and just Fenax left. And because he has Galathier, one of the most OP champions, I think he's just going to control me. Um, why are we not transforming? Transform and go for the stun. What? Okay, yeah, yeah. Transform, go for the stun, and then just A1 me to death, I think. Um, oh, most of the damage will come from the Embrace passive. Um, yeah, I'd go for a block revive. The Embrace passive kills me, right? If I had the cat, I think maybe I could have won that fight. So for sure, misplay there. Um, Against this team, we're against like a 6-star Nice, I think. 6-star Blessing Nice and a Commodus. So I think it's appropriate that we didn't take the Fenax last spot. We took the chicken, which counters, right? I think that's reasonable given the opponent that we're facing. Um, that is a very, very stacked team. Over here, we do the ally attack. Yep. And we still have the second ally attack. Go for the Predator. Sure. Yeah, because Predator doesn't have the Veil anymore. Oh, going for the Hail Mary. Puts the lockout on everybody. Good, good stuff. I don't think, yeah, Knights should just transform and put the block on himself. And now we have to hit him, and he's gonna counterattack. Uh, yeah, nothing we can do until the block active falls off, right? Just take your time, counter. The Knights does very little damage. Like, this Knights. Oh, yeah, okay. Level 73 player. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, why is it not one shotting these support champions? That's probably why. Oh, and it's a nine. Is it a Mercurial build? Nice. Probably this player doesn't have that many good Mercurial pieces to begin with. Over here, our chicken is finally able to take a turn. We transform and just start nuking, right? Dodge, dodge, dodge. But he's locked out, so like I don't think there's anything the predator can do uh, against us. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and this is what the alta count has been up to, right? The alta count is not like doing random experiments; it's just taking normal fights, and yeah, very standard. We're facing a whole bunch of mythicals. We go for a polymorph, um, and then chrono cube. That's what's happening there. Took two turns in a row. Um, Checking for a polymorph. Um, Nothing. We transform. We AoE. Dodged from Predator. But we landed in Enfeeble on him. Yeah, that's very, very important. Now the Predator can do nothing, right? I think he's locked out and he has Enfeeble on him. So it is kind of game over, right? Um, yeah, I think that's all the fights. Uh, yeah, that's all the fights for today. Thanks for watching today's experiment with the ally attack and the good A1 synergies that I think. We'll see what we get up to next time on the live arena experiments. Okay, thanks. Bye.